Hello, and this is. Oh, excuse me. Aloha. This is the Green Lightning, Mr. T. Welcome to Super Mario Star Road. Except that's not him. It's me. Game Wolf plays. The joke is that I actually just had some green tea. You're welcome. Anyway, let's move on to level 12. The theme of this level is clouds. I don't know. You're just jumping out the window. Goodbye, cruel world. That's a cloud train station thing. Yeah. Really, there's only just the train. Everything else, there's MasterCard? I don't know. Anyway, we have a problem. Those bees are back. Which makes sense considering the music is basically Honey Hive Galaxy or what have you. So I completely expect that. But there's a lot of them, and they're just all in the worst spots. I suppose this level has the most of them. I'm trying to remember what the star was. Oh, right. I think I have to find these swings with the womps, or the thwomps on them. I am reminded of that one part of, not Rainbow Road, the Rainbow Ride. Yeah, I'm reminded of that Rainbow Ride thing where you have to do something similar, where you have these moving slope things, because that's where they're borrowed from. Excuse me. Good to see you once more. I came here to catch the train to Coop City, but the whole station is in a chaotic mess. Looks like I have to go explore somewhere else. Okay, yeah. So, well, now you know why the video is that long. Because I spent some time in the wing cap area. It is so much fun, it is no wonder I lost track of time. It's also relatively large, all things considered. So that's what we'll be doing towards the end. As we see... The best part is that I don't really have any difficulty staying alive there. Getting there is, however, kind of annoying. Anyway, you might might notice something wrong here. Give me a moment. Yeah. Look, there's nothing more terrifying than a thwomp flying around. I can tell you right now that they're basically using how the butterflies move, their code, and just overlaid with the collision detection of a thwomp. Which is terrifying. You can't really get squished by him that way either, so it's at least fair, but still, what the fuck? I don't know. I don't trust these clouds, man. I don't know what's solid and what's not. Speaking of trying to get motion sickness when you're on here. I know, I'm just thinking that one time I was on this, I was out at an amusement park, and there's this couch thing that goes up all the way to the side, and I'm losing myself. I'm I'm gonna fall off. This is before I got training and diet, so I was just wiggling around like a skeleton, I'm not gonna live, I'm gonna fly right out! But yeah, that's what that reminds me of. Never mind the potential upchuck, which is what I'm usually concerned with. Trying to actually stay in my chair. And hearing about how a lot of roller coasters and such break down over time just makes me not want to do it anymore. But you can't say I never tried a roller coaster. I have. I have, actually. I'd say I've tried about somewhere from half a dozen to a dozen in my entire life. I think half a dozen might be close to the right number. So it's not as if I don't know they're fun. It's just that in the moment that you're doing them, you're terrified. Afterwards, though, you're yeah, that was great. I just don't want an existential threat anymore. It's wow, this activates all my adrenaline sensors. Yes, it does. Oh, Swing City. Come swing into Mario's world. Remember, in Mario's world, you are number one. And so are all these one-ups. They're all my friends. I was hoping if I could jump into the freaking stand of books, I'd end up in a library level, so... I have just remembered that there is a hack of Mario 64 that does have, a library section and, a Ghost Mansion thing, so... I'm probably gonna do that at some point. That'd probably be, This is the second Mario 64 thing I've done. The thing I'm thinking of will probably be the fifth one. I've planned that far out, yes I have. I'm just trying to do variety so you don't be bored by just seeing Mario all the time. Not that the Mario... No, that's bad. I can do lots of Mario. I can also do lots of Doom. Those are my bread and butter. But, you know, some days you just want to be like, I did enough jumping. I want to shoot. Somehow didn't I. It's the miracle of life. Come get me, you freak! Your move, creep! Alright. Robo Mario. Yeah. Can't use that yet. You will know soon. But right now, we're just gonna ride the rest of this. Because at the end of this ride, there'll be a star available. Man, I gotta tell you, this game really gives me an excellent sense of vertigo. Somehow I've gotten over, like... I think this game is the #1 way I got over my fear of heights I've ever had in the first place. It's like, well, I'm at least not afraid of fake heights. I think that's the most important thing. You know, unfortunately, that also applies to scary movies, which means, you know, I get afraid of actually scary things as opposed to fake things. It's not. I don't make a good test subject for artificial terror. It's like it's not real. Oh, okay. Same with thinking I'd be motion sick after watching someone play a game. It doesn't really ever happen. I mean, I get close, when I was on that swing. Or like when I'm playing Galaxy, I can feel weird playing that. But that's more like my eyes trying to understand what's happening rather than my actual movement. My eyes! Do. Mario is the #1 and the best. That's right. Today on Game of Plays, I figured out how to deal with a nasty throat. Well, step 1, just be careful when it's cold out, because it's probably going to be dry. And you know, shit's cold and dry like the Antarctic one day, and then it's like humid and wet the next. And you think to yourself, where the fuck do I live? I don't know anymore. I don't know who I am. Is that like a giant cactus? What is that? I never thought about it before, but what is that? Is it like a giant Mario-type hill? Am I expecting a couple eyes on there? I understand all these vines. I get that. That's Jack and the Beanstalk motif. But what the hell, man? Also, why isn't this the Nimbus place? It's arguably got more clouds. It should have had that music from RPG instead of this, but I guess having all the bees would encourage you to use the bee music, so alright. Don't ride it too high or it's gonna fall down. It is gone! Platform ride to the cage. Alright. Next, platform ride to the Nicolas Cage. I'm trying to act here. I want my face off. Need some hygienic things shortly. Oh! Oh no! Super Mario Defenestration! Anyway, I can't actually do the star yet. Believe it or not, my notes tell me I have to go get this thing for a certain thing first. So, in this video, we're going for the wing cap, baby. Now, getting in there is kind of a bitch, but messing around in there is not. It's probably the most fun I've had in the entire game. So I actually really love going there. Not only that, it's got Sonic Adventure music. So, I mean, naturally, I love the shit out of it. So, you know. Hey, what about a Sonic Adventure playthrough sometime? I'm thinking about it. The big thing is, you know, I don't want to do the Chow stuff. That's the only thing stopping me. And that's usually what people love about that game. Like, no, I'm the guy who actually likes the Knuckles stages. Get off my case. For the reason I like Mario 64 levels. Pretty similar ideas here. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that jump was going to make it. More often than not, when I'm trying to make a jump like this, I'm actually more worried about the fact that there might be an invisible wall, or at least suspect it, so I really need to be confident in my jump before I make that take that chance. Okay. Well, first, we gotta beat him again a little bit. And, yeah, we'll be getting some red coins. Again, this place is rather large. Not only that, there's a place to get a 1-up, and there's a secret exit. Don't tell anyone, but technically you should see where it is while I'm playing. You can take it if you want. The only reason I don't is because it takes you outside the castle, so I'd have to walk all the way back in here. And I do not feel like doing that. Dum, dum. Yeah, in order to get that part of the 1-up to activate, you just have to push the wall. You don't have to hold onto it like shimmying like I did, but I just wanted to be sure, so I just kept pressing myself against it. Yeah. It's the music that makes me feel good about myself. Anchors away. Oh yeah, there's an airship up there too. So, you know, this is all Sega-fied. With like Skies of Arcadia vibes and stuff. Where I actually am though, I don't know. It's kind of like when you do the Skyroll in Mario 3 and you take a pipe that would normally take underground, instead it takes you to just regular ground because you're already far up in the sky. I like little touches like that. Should be able to get away with getting 50 coins also. That is the majority of the level. I'm off the chain. Holy shit. The red coins are... Okay, I didn't exactly remember all the red coins are here, so I do some time looking around. Is Goomba Fox right off into the lake? Oh, there's one behind bars. We have to get it from the other side. Another day, another Chuckya. I swear these things are everywhere. I've never seen so many Chuckyas. I mean, I'm glad, because they give me out coins, but wow. Someone really liked their Chuckyas. I don't blame you. They're not very used. They're not very used in Nintendo's arsenal now, are they? Dun, 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 dun. Soup. This Mario in his Strode. Super Mario Strode. Coming to a theater near you. And now, Chow in space! Yep, literally the only reason I'm not doing LP of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 is because I don't feel like doing the Chow stuff. I'm sorry, Game Wolf does not play Tamagotchi. Although, also to be fair, that probably means I'm not doing Pokemon, but not for the same reason. That's more of a RPG thing. It's more of a, I'm putting the lid on doing RPG playthroughs for the time being. I have technically nothing against them, but for the purposes of how I do videos, they're not going to happen. It's not like puzzle games where you can only do it one way either. It's just kind of, look at that hole! It's not suspicious! Don't look! It was a secret to everyone! Yeah. I kind of like that there's Easter eggs in this game because they're fairly obscure. For instance, did you know in the second Bowser stage, you know, during the fight, you can actually exit the stage another way? It will, of course, make you lose a life, of course, but what you may not know, if you know it's already there, is that if you have 0 lives, it'll take you to -1 lives, represented by M1 or -1. And so, if you lose a life with -1 lives, you'll just go to -2 lives. So you're sort of immortal, but not really, because what will happen is you'll go down to, like, say, what, like -128 or something, and then roll back up to 128. Or some stuff like that. Or it's 100, but one of those big numbers. It'll roll back, and then you have to worry about losing lives again. But still, I mean, having that many lives is gonna make you feel confident, right? What's another fun fact? Yeah, there is that hole in the wall that's somewhere underground that takes you somewhere. There's some part in the part with parts 14 and 15. There's a cannon there somewhere, and you have to shoot to a specific spot and warp there, and it takes you to the special zone screen with a number of 1-ups. You're welcome. Again, not necessary to playing this game, but I thought you might want to know that kind of stuff, because while Easter eggs are not really part of my shindig, it's fun hearing about them. And I feel like if you want to do like a proper like coverage of this, or if you're going for like the retro achievements, which do in fact cover those areas I'm mentioning right now. But feel free. I mean, the more playing this, the merrier. I kind of say that with all my stuff. Especially so for stuff that's not that easy to run. It's like when I say, oh man, it's like, why am I watching you play this game? We're so bad. I'm just like, okay, if you're so good at what you play. So I don't know how to run it. It's like, oh, let me help you with that. There. Now you don't care about me playing it, you play it. Problem solved. Or the things that I feel like I'm not going to get anywhere with some of these red coins, especially that one in the early air, until I get the wing cap switch sorted. So let's do that. I know, I'm taking my sweet time. This might be the longest video in this set. Maybe. No, the one towards the end might be pretty long, but that's nothing to do with the size level I'm dealing with, but just the sheer vastness of Super Mario is giving me a huge vast in my pants. A vast mass, if you will. Dun, dun, dun. This level powered by windmills. Or more specifically, those turbine things. You see those? Me and my wife are thinking of getting one of those. Have some, like, wind turbine power, you know? Not turbine, but we're thinking of having wind power. I mean, we already do, like, since we are talking about Windy Well here, this is a... we do have a well, so we just need the windy part. I'm serious. I'm very thankful for having a well. Because you'd be like, oh, don't worry, water's utility. I'm not, I don't mean, like, because it costs money. I mean because you get to treat it yourself. As in, you can make sure it's sanitary. That's what I like about it. So if you feel like there's something wrong with the water, be like, okay, we'll go fix that. And that usually means, in our case, actually one thing. Not that it stank, but because we have hard water, basically. Which means there's a lot of things we have to reset from time to time, such as the coffee machine, for instance. You can imagine what happens if you keep putting, you know, sulfate or sulfur in your water into the coffee machine. Eventually it's going to get sick and tired of your ass, and you're going to have to reset the damn thing by, you know, draining it out with more water or citric acid or something. Or whatever the fuck you want to use. Well, it also applies to, our water heater. That's kind of important. Just the way it works. It just means we have to keep an eye on it every so often. But yeah, that's kind of the ins and outs of behind the scenes. That's about behind the scenes you get. It's just the maintenance of the house. The maintenance! There we go. You stepped on the wing cap Nintendo Switch. Wearing the wing cap Nintendo, you can soar through the sky Nintendo. Now wing caps Nintendo will pop out all the red blocks Nintendo. You'll find Nintendo. Would you like to save Nintendo? Yes, Nintendo. Just like in Rainbow Ride, there's something on the bow. It's tradition. Always put some crap on the bow. We just think it's funny that way. Also, the star's gonna spawn that hot air balloon. So, probably thinking, hey, fly into that. No, just you wait. Anyway, let's start messing with the flying. And kind of see what else we have to do to finish this, because I only have half the red coins. And a lot of video left. Let us do. I'm Super Mario. You are not. You are just a poser to my Super Mario. So, yeah. What else? I do collabs. Did you know that? You request a collab, you make a you get an agreement. I'm not saying you have to be too formal. I'm saying I need you to be punctual because, you know, I value time. It's not to say I'm always super busy. I'm just saying, you know, I like it better when I think you know what you're doing. But that's hard to make me think. So maybe if you think you know what you're doing, then you can at least accept the responsibility when you suck. But no, I mean, yeah. It's not even a case of, oh, I want to branch out and possibly, you know, market. No, it's not even that. It's more for input, you know. Especially if you're asking me to do the know-how of whatever you're doing. Which does happen. My only thing is that if I'm doing it all the time, well, you know, I want to work on my stuff first. Not your stuff. My stuff goes first. You wait in line. Did I ever tell you that time when I was playing Super Paper Mario, there's this one minigame with like a tilting island. It goes left and right. Would you believe I was able to do that minigame for roughly 12 hours? There was pauses, incidentally, because, you know, I do function like a human being that has to, like, eat and, you know, use the restroom. But yeah, I had that thing going for quite a while. I didn't actually lose. I just gave up because it was no longer worth it. Like, it was no longer challenging, so I don't know why I kept going. What was I trying to prove? There was nothing to prove at that point, so I stopped. It was quite awkward to come to a realization like that. To a minigame that you think is going to gradually harder. No, it just... At a certain point, it just stops getting harder. You just keep going like nothing's happening. You know, if you're hoping for a kill screen in there, probably not. Maybe the game would break down over time. I don't know. I've done other things like that, where I've broken a game horribly. Not in the way in which I, like, mess up the code, but in a way in which I win in a way I should not have been able to win. That kind of breaking. Because that's where the Game Wolf mantra comes from. It doesn't come from just video games. It comes from gaming the system. That is the explanation behind my username entirely. Well, I gotta make excuses for a name. Kind of like a Joker makes excuses for his past. I make excuses for my username all the time. Yeah. Invisible wall recovery. For the first time. For the last time. Okay, now that we have all that, would you believe we're not even going to use it to fly yet? We're going to use it to... Remember that level with the metal cap where it was just you jump on the blocks? Yeah, we got to do that here with the red blocks. It's so lame, I know, but... Don't worry. There is an excuse. A really bad one. It means I get to return to Course 9, and we're gonna enjoy that. So keep your underpants on, cause you're number 2. I make references, so you don't have to, ever again. I remember the wrong things. This is gonna be terrible because of this guy. He's the only bee in the entire level who doesn't really seem to have a station that's near land, so I always have to find him while I'm on this moving platform. The rest of them I can kind of mess with at my own peril, but this guy, he ain't nothing to fuck with. Goal is to make it up those platforms. Good luck, and don't fall through the hole or you're dead. Also, don't walk through the wall, because you'll just fall off. And yes, if you fall that hole, you'll basically fall through the cloud. Yeah, you see all those black shadows? That's where the red blocks are. Seriously. Don't try hitting them. Don't do that. Don't mess with the natural order of things. Oh no, the camera! Game Wolf's worst challenge yet. Manipulating the camera. Oh no! You bet I was mad after that. Just fell in the perfect way. Stage just does that to you. Now I get to go up there again. Oh boy! Let's run the numbers. Going up, 'cause I'm stupid. Going up, because you're stupid too. Let's be stupid together. There's that one that's implanting its seed into the flower. For reasons. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Here comes the Mario. There he goes. Whoosh! Through the cloudy curtain, the Mario protests against the Berlin Wall. He takes it down. It is funny to know about that stuff happening while I was technically alive. So... I'm a history book, that's what it means. No, it doesn't. I mean, I know about, you know, that thing in 2001. But I didn't consider it historical. It was just more like, damn, that was a thing that happened. You know what sucked about it? You know what actually sucked about it? I was in a different airport in New York City. So, we just decided to go home. And I'm just like, oh. it was gonna be my first time going on an airplane without parental supervision. Until, like, you know, I get picked up, I mean. Not on the way over. But, you know, it was part of, you know, starting as a teenager or something. But, yeah, yeah, I was just gonna visit my grandparents and then that crap happens. So. Yeah, I feel for you. It's like, my day was done. Just went home and did not end up going back out on an airplane for months. Just, you understand. Anyone would agree with that decision. Even if it was like, you know, even if I wasn't afraid, or just like completely flabbergasted, I would just be like, maybe it's a good time not to just do this for a while. Some unprecedented bullshit. See you next time on Shit Gets Too Real on Super Mario Star Road.